is a bit of a disgrace. So he needs to get cancelled and get out of there.
There's an election going on in the US at the moment. You've probably seen it on the news. The results are just hours away, but do Brits actually care about it? And if so, who would be their pick for the next president of the United States? So do you care about the US election?
Of course, I think everyone should care about the US election. It's a big day. We can't let someone like Donald Trump get in power again. He's literally a criminal, like he can't be there. So yeah.
My next question was going to be, who would be your pick? But I'm gathering probably not Trump.
Yeah, anyone but him. But also I think Kamala Harris is definitely a good selection. He's not the guy. He should be nowhere near the election polls, and she is our lady. She should be the next president of the US.
What do you think of what makes Trump not our guy?
He's a criminal. He's horrific. He's racist. He's sexist. He's just one of the worst people in the world. I can't stand his voice. He's no, but you know what I mean. Like you hear a video of him and you're just like, oh my god, get this guy away from our screens and from our microphones and stuff. So yeah, he's a nightmare.
Do you care about the US election?
Not in the slightest. It doesn't benefit, in my opinion, it doesn't benefit or affect us in any way. There's no reason, special relationship, I don't see where that benefits in any way.
Do you think that there is a special relationship at all, or do you just not agree with that in principle?
If there was a special relationship, the royal family would have sent their member over there to face charges. And if we did have a special relationship, the young lady who ran over the young Brit over here, she would be back in this country to serve her time or at least face her case. I don't think America's ever really done anything to benefit us. There's almost like your best friend, you say hi, this, that and the other, and we originally were the same people. But if you can find an example of something that they've done for Britain, I'd like to hear it.
Obviously the US is like the number one global economy, so whatever is decided impacts everyone, including us.
So who would you rather get the presidency between Trump or Harris?
That's genuinely a difficult question. I think Donald Trump is very, you see what you get. I think Kamala Harris is probably a bit more of the traditional politician. I think she'll probably be a more politically stable leader, whereas Donald Trump is a bit more brash. So it's a bit difficult, but I don't know, to be honest.
If you were voting in America, then would it be a spoiled ballot? Would it be a sort of on-the-day decision?
I think it would be an on-the-day decision.
Well, it is the day today.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you put me on the spot, so probably Kamala Harris.
Okay.
It's going to have a huge impact because they're one of the superpowers, as they always have been, and considering the tensions with Putin and everything that's going on, and then possibly China in the background, and there's a lot of world politics going on at the moment. It's always been a very special relationship that they forged, so I think sometimes we kind of adapt to work with them. So I think it has to be the right partner in that.
And who would be the right partner in your eyes?
I think we know. I think Kamala Harris seems the most sensible one, and especially for considering there seems to be some unrest in certain countries, I think she speaks for people who want peace and to see that unrest resolved, and I think she's certainly a step forward.
Because one of Donald Trump's main talking points throughout the election has been that he's a peacemaker. He constantly says Ukraine wouldn't have happened under his presidency, escalation in the Middle East wouldn't have happened. Do you buy that? Do you believe that?
I mean, we're never really going to know, but I think it's a lot of Trump speak, and we know what Trump speaks about. So, I mean, people are trying to win an election.
Yeah, I do care. I think it affects people everywhere.
And who would your preferential candidate be?
Kamala, obviously.
What do you think of Kamala Harris compared to Trump?
I mean, I think she just makes more sense than voting for an evil person.
You think Trump's evil?
Yeah, I do. I think he's evil.
And what do you think it would be like for Keir Starmer working with Kamala compared to Donald Trump?
I mean, I don't know them personally, obviously, but she seems like she has a brain in her head, and I think that she needs one of those instead of Donald Trump.
I'm afraid I'm not a believer in Donald Trump, but then I'm a bit jaundiced about most politicians. I'm not sure.
But Harris would be your preferential candidate in this election?
Yeah, yes, indeed, yes. But I must say that overall, I'm really rather disappointed that the country the size of the US can't produce two better candidates.
So Trump or Harris to you makes no difference? You think things for Keir Starmer will largely be the same?
Keir Starmer, I think it doesn't really change. Trump, I don't think he has a brain cell in any way whatsoever. The man's never ever answered a question. Harris, I think she's really good, very intelligent woman. I think she stands for a lot of good things. I worry about her stance on Palestine. So I think the bigger picture here is there are other people that it does affect.
Do you think Keir Starmer would have a different experience working with Trump to Harris, and what do you think would be preferential for him?
I don't think Keir Starmer's the strongest person in the world, and I think he will probably adapt to whoever is there. So I think with Kamala Harris, he will be a better leader for us as the UK because he will forge that relationship with her rather than being dominated by Trump. So I think even when you've seen Keir Starmer on like PMQs, even though he was a QC, he's not actually great at standing up and reading off script. He's very much scripted, and if someone like Trump comes in, I don't think he would be able to respond well, and he would be very much dominated.
That's it, it'd be poor little Keir getting slapped around by Donald.
Keir Starmer down.
It's just like his face and like the way he looks and the way he speaks and just the way that he handles himself is just like, don't be in charge of everyone's like lives in the US. It's a bit of a disgrace. So he needs to get cancelled and get out of there. So hopefully those aren't famous last words, but hopefully Kamala Harris does enough and everyone gets to those polling stations and votes.
And do you think Kamala's likely to win? I mean, she's been about 1% ahead in the polls for the last few days.
It looks like it's on tenterhooks, doesn't it? It's very, very even, but hopefully people sort of get out there and sort of vote in the way that they should, and that's not for Trump, it's for Harris.